CEO, Security Watch Africa, Patrick Agbambu. He joins me virtually. Good to have you join us, Mr. Agbambu.
Thank you so much.
So once again, we see the Vice President reiterating the call earlier made by the President at the UNGA for a permanent seat for Nigeria at the UNSC. But just beyond correcting the imbalance at that level, what more does Nigeria stand to gain?
Yeah, thank you. I must commend that speech. I'll say again that it's a historic and a remarkable speech made by the Vice President on behalf of the Mr. President. And it's time that Africa is being considered for this permanent seat, especially at the Security Council of the United Nations. And no better nation to occupy that, even if it's one single seat that is given to Africa, than Nigeria. So Nigeria stands to gain a lot because we have a lot of experience in international peace, world peace, and also our internal security situation. We have been very active than most other countries. We will come with advantage in terms of our Nigeria credential in world peace. So Nigeria is suited for it, and Nigeria will gain a lot in terms of diplomacy and in terms of having a voice in the first instance, because Nigeria, as a non-allied nation, will play a great role in making sure that worldwide peace reigns supreme. I believe it's time, and the world must listen to this call for a permanent seat for Africa, and particularly for Nigeria to occupy that seat.
And we had the very loud round of applause when the Vice President made that statement. But I spoke with a Kenyan analyst yesterday. He said he wasn't optimistic that any African country would be elevated to that level. How optimistic are you that world leaders will rally around Nigeria to ensure we get a seat at the UNSC?
Yes, this question is quite important because I know that this call has been going on for so many years. I must say in the last 10 years or more, Africa has been clamoring and to be able to be on that exalted seat because of the importance of Africa in the United Nations. So we have the largest voting bloc, and actually, if we are united, we should be able to push for that. But unfortunately, the continent in itself, it's not united. And we are not playing the diplomatic card very well to be able to win other nations, other continents outside of our continent for that. So I'm not my optimism is very with some level of caution because it's been resisted. And even as we speak right now, the Western Bloc seems to be standing against Africa getting on that seat. I hope that as voting bloc in the United Nations to ensure that we get on that seat. But
Mr. Agbambu, I hear you when you say that we have the largest
the African Union place.
I hear you when you say we have the largest voting bloc, but we have always voted mostly not aligned when issues are raised. Has that been to our detriment?
Yes, it is to our detriment greatly. It is to our detriment. It has not worked. And I fear that this might continue until the United Nations, the African Union, decide to play the big role by uniting the continent behind one nation, or at best bring forth two nations, but which I believe Nigeria must be one of those nations. Until then, I think it is detrimental. Our diverse voices and our non-alignment is a minus for the call.
Thank you so much for your time. We'll see how leaders continue to react to that call. CEO Security Watch Africa, Patrick Agbambu, a pleasure to have you on.